That 20,400 you're hearing about can calm you down fast, or it can trick you into missing a problem until it's expensive. Because the real risk isn't the number, it's the timing and the mix. If you rely on Social Security, this affects you right now. Before we go further, hit subscribe so you're not reacting late. Think of it like keeping a weather radio on during storm season. I'll help you spot the quiet changes before they hit your bank, and you'll stay a step ahead of mistakes, delays, and scams. Let me make you a promise as we start. You don't need to memorize a giant rulebook to feel in control. You just need a few checkpoints that tell you what's normal and what's a stop, verify this moment before it costs you. That's what we're doing today, together, one clear step at a time. Here's what's at risk in the next few days: your rent, your utilities, your groceries, your medication timing. Also, your peace of mind, because confusion creates bad decisions. You'll learn the payment rhythm, what 20,400 can really mean, and the one small detail most people miss that explains the weird stuff. Quick reset. If you stay to the end, you'll know what to do when your deposit is early, late, smaller, bigger, or bundled. You'll know how to check the schedule without guessing. You'll know what to verify so you don't leave money unclaimed. And you'll know the scam traps that spike during payment weeks. First, let's separate two ideas people mix up all the time. There's your benefit month and there's your deposit day. They often feel like the same thing, but they aren't. That gap is where panic starts and scammers move in. And yes, that's where the tiny detail most people miss lives. So what is a $2,400 Social Security deposit, really? For some people, it's just a normal monthly benefit amount. For others, it's a normal benefit plus an adjustment or catch-up. For others, it's two different benefits landing close together. Same bank day, different reasons, and that changes what you do next. Now let's talk schedule, because the schedule is the spine. Most retirement and disability payments are staggered across the month. Many people get paid on a Wednesday that matches their birth date range. Some people, especially long-time beneficiaries, follow a different day, and some programs run on their own calendar entirely. Attention reset. Don't try to remember every date right now. Your goal is to know which lane you're in. Once you know your lane, the month stops feeling random. You can plan bills, set alerts, and spot a missing payment faster. And you won't be forced into last-minute overdraft decisions. Here's the simplest way to think about the Wednesday system. There are 3 main Wednesday drop points after the first week. Your birthday range usually determines which Wednesday is yours. If you've ever seen deposits hit in the second half of the month, that's not late, that's often just your assigned lane. But then there's the other lane that confuses people. Some recipients are on a fixed early month date instead of Wednesdays. If you've been receiving benefits since way back, you might be there. That's why neighbors can compare notes and think something is wrong. 2 people can both be correct and still be on different calendars. Let's add the next layer: programs that stack. Some people receive retirement or disability plus a needs-based supplement. Those payments are calculated separately and they can arrive separately. When they land close together, your bank app shows one bigger day. That bigger day can be real money, but it can also be a mirage. Here's a real lifestyle example with easy math. Say your normal monthly benefit is $118.50. Then an adjustment of $550 arrives because something was corrected. Your bank shows $12,400 and you think, new monthly amount. But next month you're back near $1,250 because the $550 was one time. That's why you never want to spend a surprise deposit immediately. Not because you don't deserve it, but because you need to label it. Is it your ongoing monthly benefit or a one-off correction? That labeling step is the difference between stability and whiplash. And yes, that's part of the small detail most people miss. Attention reset. We're about to make this practical for your life. In a minute, you'll know how to predict your deposit window. Then you'll know why the amount changes even when nothing changed. Then we'll cover what to do if your payment doesn't show up. And I'll show you how to verify safely without getting trapped by scams. Now, why would your deposit be different from the amount you expect? The most common reason is deductions taken before the money hits you. Healthcare premiums can be pulled out before you ever see the deposit. Tax withholding can change your net amount if you opted into it. And sometimes you're seeing a combined deposit instead of a single benefit. Here's a second numbers example, just to make it feel real. Imagine your monthly benefit is $2,100 on paper. A premium of $180 is deducted before it reaches your bank. Your deposit is $119.20, and you think you were shorted $180. But you weren't shorted, you were paid net after the deduction. Now let's do the myth versus truth moment. Myth: if the headline says $2,400, everybody is getting $2,400. Truth: the system doesn't pay in one uniform amount or one uniform day. Different start dates, different benefit types, different deductions, different timing. Treat the number as a flag to check, not a promise to spend. Attention reset. If you've ever said, "Mine didn't match my friend's," you're not behind, you're not doing anything wrong, and you're not alone. You're just seeing how many moving parts exist under one deposit. The good news is you only need a few habits to stay safe. Let's build those habits now, so this month is smoother than last month. The first habit is to stop using social media as your calendar. Use your own pattern based on your lane and your history. Look at the last 3 deposits you received and write the days down. That creates a normal window for you that's more reliable than rumors. Then you verify changes using official channels, not screenshots from strangers. The second habit is understanding posting time versus payment date. Your bank can post early, late, or overnight depending on their processing. Weekends and holidays can nudge deposits forward or backward. So a deposit showing up on a Tuesday night doesn't always mean a new rule. It can simply be your bank's timing, not the benefit program changing. Let's pull that open loop tighter. There's a small detail most people miss when they scan a deposit. They look at the big number and stop there. But the label, the description, and the benefit month matter. That's how you tell normal payment from bundled payments from correction. Are you the kind of person who wants zero surprises when your check lands, even if the internet is screaming headlines? Then would you rather set one calm routine now than spend the next week refreshing your banking app in stress? Okay, now let's talk about what could make a special deposit happen. Sometimes it's a correction after a review, a processing delay, or an update. Sometimes it's a change in your deductions that alters the net amount. Sometimes it's a retroactive adjustment that catches up for prior months. And sometimes it's 2 benefits arriving close together and looking like one. One place surprises happen is your earnings record and benefit calculation history. If something was missing, misreported, or recorded under the wrong name, it can take time to straighten out, and then the fix shows up as extra money. That's not a bonus, it's a correction of what should have been there. Still, you treat it carefully until you see a notice that explains it. Another place surprises happen is when someone switches benefit types. For example, a person might move from one category to another, or change from one benefit to a different one that pays more. When that change processes, you can see a weird month where amounts don't match. Again, it's not random, but it can look random if you don't know what to ask. Attention reset. Notice the theme. Every confusing deposit has a story behind it. Your job is not to guess the story. Your job is to gather the 3 clues that reveal the story safely. Those clues are schedule lane, net versus gross, and whether it's bundled. Now let's cover something important and uncomfortable: scams. Payment weeks are prime time for fake texts, fake calls, and fake agents. Never share a code that was texted to you, even if they sound official. Never click unknown links sent to your phone or email. Never trust caller ID, and always call back using an official number you already have. Scammers also love the verification trick. They'll say, "We just need to verify your deposit to release it." Real agencies don't need your full bank login or a one-time passcode. If anyone pressures you to act fast, that's your sign to slow down. Protect your information like it's cash, because to them, it is. Now let's move into common mistakes, gently and clearly. These aren't "you messed up" mistakes. These are "the system is confusing and humans make reasonable assumptions" mistakes. If you catch even one of these, you can save yourself a month of stress, and you can prevent that domino effect where one problem creates 3 more. Mistake 1 is treating the deposit as a monthly promise. A one-time adjustment can inflate a deposit for 1 month only. If you build your budget around that higher number, next month hurts. So when you see a larger deposit, you pause and label it first. Then you decide what's safe to spend and what's safer to hold. Mistake 2 is assuming "not today" means not coming. If you're in a later lane, you can be perfectly on time and still feel late. That's why your personal normal window matters more than the noise online. If you don't know your lane yet, you're not behind. You're just unarmed. We're fixing that today by building your routine and your checks. Mistake 3 is forgetting deductions exist until the deposit hits. If premiums or withholding change, your net amount changes. Then people think the benefit was cut, and they panic spend elsewhere to cover bills. Instead, you compare what was deposited with what was deducted. That's the calm step that prevents expensive confusion. Mistake 4 is calling the first number that pops up on a search. That's how scammers catch people who are stressed and in a hurry. If you need to call, use a number you already trust from prior paperwork, or use official channels you access directly, not through a message someone sent you. Your safety is part of your financial plan, not an extra chore. Mistake 5 is waiting too long to document a problem. If you suspect a missing payment, write down the date and what you observed. Save any notices you receive and keep them in one place. If you need to follow up later, you'll sound clear, calm, and prepared. That can speed up resolution because you're not trying to remember details under stress. Mistake 6 is moving money instantly when you see a large deposit. People shift funds, pay off something big, or send money to family quickly. Then they discover it was a temporary correction or a combined deposit, and now their account is short when the regular bills hit. You can be generous and responsible, but give yourself a short holding period first. Attention reset. If any of those mistakes felt familiar, good. That means you're paying attention and you're ready to adjust. Most people don't lose money because they're careless. They lose money because they were rushed, confused, or embarrassed to ask questions. You don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to guess. Now I want to help you self-identify, because different viewers need different steps. If this is you, you just started benefits recently and the schedule feels random, your best move is to build a 2-month calendar and mark your actual deposit days. That gives you your pattern faster than any rumor, and it reduces anxiety immediately. Then you can verify your lane without living in constant uncertainty. If this is you, you've been on benefits for years, but this month the deposit amount looks different than usual. Your best move is to check for deductions, bundling, or one-time adjustments. Don't assume it's a permanent change until you see confirmation. Pause first, label it, then budget around what's recurring. If this is you, you're caring for a parent or spouse and you're the one watching the bank account and paying the bills, your best move is to set alerts and create a simple deposit log for the household. Also be extra strict about scams, because caregivers are targeted hard. One bad call can undo a year of careful planning, so you build a safety wall now. Do you want me to keep making these videos so you have a steady place to double-check what's real before you change your budget, move money, or make a stressful phone call? Now let's pay off part of that open loop I teased earlier. The small detail most people miss is that your bank deposit is the end of the story. The program's record is the beginning of the story. If you only look at the end, you can't tell whether something changed upstream. So you want to compare the deposit to the official explanation of how it was computed. That leads to the step-by-step approach you can use every month. Step 1. Identify your lane by looking at your last 2 or 3 deposit dates. Step 2. Compare this month's deposit to last month's deposit. But don't panic. Step 3. Ask, is the difference explained by deductions, bundling, or an adjustment? Step 4. Only then do you take action, because now you're acting on clues, not fear. Attention reset. You're going to feel calmer after this next part, because I'm going to give you a what-if plan for each scenario. What if it's early? What if it's late? What if it's smaller? What if it's bigger? That way you're not improvising while bills are due. You'll have a simple decision tree in your head that actually works. If your payment arrives earlier than expected, do 2 things. First, don't assume it's extra money until you identify what month it represents. Second, don't assume next month will also be early. Early posting can be a bank behavior. Early deposits happen around weekends and holidays, and they can shift your rhythm visually. Treat early as posted early, not new schedule, until you confirm it. If your payment arrives later than expected, start with your normal window. If you're still inside your window, breathe, because this might be normal for your lane. If you're outside your window, you document it, and then you verify through official channels. And while you're waiting, you do not respond to, "We can release your funds" messages. No real fix starts with you sharing codes or clicking a link. If your payment is smaller, you check deductions first. A change in premiums or withholding can drop the net deposit. Also watch for a new deduction that quietly started this month. If the deduction is real, you plan around the net number going forward. If it's not explained, that's when you verify, calmly and firmly. If your payment is bigger, you treat it as possibly temporary until proven recurring. You set the extra aside for a few days, even if you're excited. Then you look for the explanation, correction, bundling, or a one-time catch-up. Once you know which one it is, you decide what to do with the difference. That one pause can protect you from a month of regret. Attention reset. We're moving into the do this today part. This is where you get control back immediately, not someday. And I'm keeping it realistic because you have a life to live. You're not going to spend hours wrestling with forms today. You're going to do a few minutes of smart preparation that pays off all month. Do this today, even if you feel fine right now. Open your banking app and write down your last 3 deposit dates on paper. Write the deposit amounts next to them and circle anything that looks unusual. Check whether your deposit tends to post in the morning, afternoon, or overnight. Then pick one safe place to store official notices so you're not hunting later. Also do this today if you share money responsibilities with someone else. Tell your spouse, your adult child, or your caregiver what your normal window is. Agree on one rule. No one gives out codes, no one clicks unknown links, no one trusts caller ID. If there's an issue, you verify by calling back through a number you already trust. That one agreement can prevent a scam from slipping through during a stressful moment. Now let's talk about something people don't like to hear, but need. A deposit number alone can't tell you what you're entitled to. It can only tell you what you received that day. Entitlement and accuracy come from your record and your benefit calculation. So if you suspect something is off, you verify the record, not the rumor. This is where many people feel intimidated, and I get it. Nobody wants to feel like they're challenging an agency. But verifying is not attacking. It's checking the math on something you depend on. If you believe an error happened, you can ask for a review and follow the process. The key is deadlines, documentation, and staying calm, because calm wins. Do you want a quick, no-stress routine that helps you catch missing money or wrong deductions early without spending your whole week on hold or second-guessing yourself? Let's close the open loop completely now, because you deserve the payoff. The small detail most people miss is this. Deposits can bundle, and deposits can be net. So the $2,400 may be 2 payments near each other, or a correction plus your normal amount, or your normal amount minus deductions that changed, making it look like a different benefit. When you check the explanation behind the deposit, the confusion usually evaporates. And here's another detail that sneaks up on people around certain months. Sometimes the payment you see near the end of a month is meant for the next month. That doesn't mean you're getting paid twice forever. It means calendars, weekends, and holidays can move the visible deposit date. So you plan based on your pattern and the official notice, not the day-of-week surprise. Attention reset. Right now you have more power than you think. Most stress comes from not knowing what to look at first. Now you do. Lane, net versus gross, bundling, and calendar shifts. That's a complete toolkit for the average person living in the real world. And it works even if the headlines keep changing. Let me recap in clear terms so it sticks. A $2,400 deposit is a signal to verify, not a universal promise. Your payment day depends on your lane, and your bank can post early or late. Your deposit can change because of deductions, adjustments, or 2 benefits landing close together, and your safest move is to pause, label the deposit, and verify through official channels only. One final warning, and I'm saying this with care. The moment your deposit hits is the moment scammers start fishing hardest. If someone contacts you about your benefit, assume it could be fake until proven otherwise. Don't share codes, don't click unknown links, don't trust caller ID, and call back safely. Your money is yours, and protecting it is part of receiving it. And here's the hopeful part. You don't have to be an expert to stay protected and stay ahead. You just need a repeatable routine that turns confusion into clarity and clarity into action. You can do that starting today, in minutes, and it gets easier every month. So tell me this. Do you want a follow-up video where I walk through the exact steps to check your lane and spot a bundled deposit before it messes up your budget?